Hey, happy Monday, everybody. Mark again here at Weatherman Plus, and I'm going to give you the latest update on what's going on with this storm. It is strengthening up. Matter of fact, we're going to have multiple sections. We're going to have it over here for the upper Midwest and across the South at the same time, while that storm system goes up through the Northeast, and the next storm system starts hitting on the West Coast. And the next storm system after that has gone to a day 4, a day 5, 15% chance of what the severe weather could grow for that as well. So we'll go through that as well in this video. And we have a new fire in Texas for today, the Roughneck Fire. So I'm going to give you the latest information on that as well. I also got a link in the description that will help you get as much information than you probably can find on the internet about any of these fires. If you've never been here before, make sure you subscribe. I am all year long. Make sure you hit the like button, everybody. If this does help you, share this on other platforms. That would do the best support for this video. Thank you for your help. Now let's get into the information. Now I got this link in the description for you. This is a Roughneck Fire. You can see that it's right below the Smokehouse Creek fire. It's very close to it. Matter of fact, this is a fire. This is a fire. This is a new fire. And if you look a little further, you can see these little yellow areas like this. This is a controlled fire. This is where they sit here and try and get rid of areas before it gets burning. And when you look a little further back and up and going into Oklahoma and other areas, you can see all the fires going on and all the controlled fires that's going on to stop this from actually getting even worse. But when you go to the top, there's a lot of good information. It tells you the percent contained, the size of the fire, the name of the fire. It shows the amount of damages, the population of the people. It tells you a lot of great information here, as well as the other fires that is going on. So this isn't just for the people that's dealing with what's going on in Texas. There's a lot of other fires. So there's multiple pages, there's multiple fires that you can be looking at to see what your information is and what's the update. Now, getting to the weather pattern that we have going on, you can see we have 3 things going on. We actually got a storm system on the southeast going to the northeast. We got a storm that's going to brew up in the south, and we got a storm that's coming across the upper Midwest. And these are all going on at one time. And you can see as it builds up, it does build up for the upper Midwest, and it goes all night long into the early morning hours from Illinois, Wisconsin, all the way down towards Louisiana. So eventually the front's going to push these storms further and further to the south as that goes towards the northeast. And then for tomorrow, you get more storms brewing up. Now, we also got the day 4 and the day 5. So let's go through these first, and then I'm going to show you what I have found for later, because I found new information that could bring Florida and the Carolinas into more severe weather than what we're seeing. Plus, the storm that's coming in for the weekend could get stronger as well. So when you go to look at the environment, you can see your dew points are there all day long. You kind of right on the edge of 60. So you get some storms up here while you're getting them strong dew points, but the 55s really is just the thunderstorms. But you see, once the front comes down, then it's going to start bringing the clash. It's going to bring the cold temperatures aloft as well, but it's going to bring these dew points a lot stronger along that front. And it's going to start popping up on these storms. So you can see your little patch you have right here. And then later on, you're going to have it as that continues right here. And then as the storm continues later in the night, it's going to go even further south. But as you go for tomorrow, it is going to keep them dew points further to the southern side, the lift and everything, the severe weather, everything's going to be pushed to the south for tomorrow. So you can see your temperatures for today really raise up all the way into the 70s. You even get into the high 80s. And then it comes in with that cold front as you go through for the night. And then for tomorrow, it comes right back up again. And this is going to bring you a lot of instability, bring you a lot of lift in the atmosphere. So you can see with your cape, with your lift for today, it does feed up way up to southern Wisconsin, mostly northern Illinois. A lot of strong lift all evening long. And watch how it pushes all night long, but it's still there. Late at night, by midnight, then you got the ones overnight still bringing some strong lift to these storms. And then for tomorrow, it flares right back up again. So with the tail of that system moving to the southeast, a lot of chances for little popcorn storms to pop up, and those could easily be tornadic as well, bringing chances for hail, damage, and winds. But you can see with your lower level winds that you do have a little pocket of strong winds aloft. Right when you get around the evening, that's bringing up those storms. helping them spin up. Watch for a chance for a tornado. Then that will move east, and you don't have them for the south. And then for tomorrow, it really don't brew up for the south neither. So you really got your main threat for those strong storms for this evening for the upper Midwest, I do believe. Showing mostly a pocket of high 40 miles per hour wind gusts, but there's a few cells for today and for tomorrow that could pop up where it be 50 or 60 miles per hour wind gusts with it. It is going to be isolated in nature, plus the higher elevations of the Rocky Mountains for Colorado, Wyoming, and for New Mexico. Chances for 50 and 60 miles per hour wind gusts to come with this transition as that goes towards the northeast. A little pocket, a little isolated storms popping up could bring some strong winds with them. And that's what you see when you look at updraft helicity, which lightning strikes, it can show you the size of the hails. You can see that there is some chances for medium to large hail towards eastern Iowa, not super large. And that's about it. You can see, though, the whole pattern of this is covering that everyone's going to see thunderstorms all evening long as this pushes south. And then again for Tuesday as that pushes into the Gulf. So here's your latest update. Chances for tornadoes has grown for the upper Midwest, also for the south for today. You have the 2%. So here's your cities and states at risk for the tornado threat for today. The wind and the hail is still at the 5%, still in the same region, a little bit further into Texas. This is for today. Also searching up a little bit more information. That latest information with NATOcast is showing about the same thing. Showing you got a bigger area for the West Bank for New Orleans going towards Baton Rouge. You also got it for northern Illinois and northeastern Missouri and eastern Iowa. Best chances for the tornado setup for today. Now for tomorrow, you do have that marginal for severe weather. There is chances for hail and wind still, but still no chances for tornadoes. I will keep you updated. And you can see as it goes into Wednesday, it does go into Florida with that 5%. And I'm showing there's a chance for the Carolinas to get in on this as well. I will show you what I found. Then after that pushes across, and I do believe there could be some severe weather that could pop up for the Carolinas as that pushes by for Wednesday, as that system goes out to northeast. Then we got a next system that's going to push in for Wednesday and Thursday, bringing more severe weather chances across the south, and that could stretch into Friday as well. I think that could extend a couple more days. Now, so far, this is official information that we have from National Weather Service, and here's your cities at risk for that 15% for Thursday. And as we go into Friday, it's going to stretch even more as that cold front pushes further and further to the south. So here's your cities at risk for the severe weather for Friday. Matter of fact, there's some information I want to show you that could be other areas popping up. So you can see as we go through Wednesday, National Weather Service has that 5% for Florida. And matter of fact, you can see this with CSU. They show that area as well, but they show it could be for the south as well. Something could grow there. And look over here on SIPS. Not just for Florida, it could grow into the Carolinas. Now Thursday, as we get that first 15%, look right here on CSU. It could grow to a little bit stronger of an area for northeastern Texas, Oklahoma, southwestern Arkansas, and northwestern Louisiana. And when you look over here on SIPS, it agrees that wherever this surface low is going to form, there is going to be a more intense area. So we do need to watch that. And as we go through Friday and get that 15%, look at this from CSU. Not only could it strengthen up some, it could get really strong from Mississippi going into Alabama. That would put that surface low somewhere around here, getting all that convection. And you can see this on SIPS as well, agreeing that this is going to strengthen as it goes from Thursday into Friday. Now, that's still too far for National Weather Service to go past that, but you can see it is trending between CSU and SIPS. For Saturday, it could bring some more severe weather across the southeast, and you can see this with SIPS as well. So we do need to watch the system. I do believe it is going to strengthen up some more because the setup is pretty prime. Look at this with the Euro. You can see as you go into Thursday, it really builds up to some strong dew points. This is not where you're getting just to barely 60s or the high 60s. This is where you're getting into the 70s, the 80 temperatures, almost probably 90s. Look at those 70 dew points carrying across, and look how it carries also across the southeast for that Saturday, bringing a lot of strong dew points with that as that pushes off. Could even stretch into Virginia a little bit. Look at the lift that's coming with all that heat. So for Thursday, it's kind of broke apart, but it really congeals together as you go to Friday. As you get those 72 points, things do strengthen up as that storm comes across. And for Saturday, bringing some strong lift all the way into the Tennessee, Kentucky Valley and going across the Carolinas. Look at that. Strong lift for Saturday while you're getting them strong dew points. It could carry over that severe weather more than what we're seeing now. You can see with your winds aloft with the Euro that as you go Thursday into Friday, really is when that storm starts ramping up. And as it goes through Saturday, a little bit stronger on these winds on the eastern side as that storm goes out through the northeast. I really think it could strengthen up again and get more severe weather for Saturday and Friday being ramped up. Another thing that's happening when you look with the Euro, you can see as that storm system builds up for Thursday, for Friday, it goes far towards the northeast on that path like this, bringing that storm towards the northeast as well as the snow, the winds, everything involved in that, with the cold air coming behind it as well. Now, when you look with the GFS, it's not a high-resolution model. There's a lot of storms brewing with this, but you can see how fast it takes the northern side with that low-pressure system and goes quickly across the Great Lakes. That would bring the precipitation closer to the colder temperatures and bring you some snowfall where the Euro's not showing that. But between the storm system going across the southeast to the northeast and the next storm system coming off the west coast, as we look at National Weather Service model all the way till Thursday, you can see it starts to add up. You start getting 1 to 2 inches over here for southern Oregon, northern California as well. And as you go towards the east, you can see it starting to add up as well. It goes from 1 to 2 inches, even over here in the south, getting 3 to 4, maybe even 4 to 5 right along the Gulf Coast. Be aware of that. All along the Gulf Coast, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, the Panhandle of Florida, a lot of heavy rainfall coming your way. Going into Georgia, heavy. South Carolina, heavier for upstate. Even Tennessee, North Carolina, and right along the coast, bringing a big 2-inch stretch of rainfall. Now, for the south, you already got a lot of humidity going on from all the strong dew points from being next to the Gulf. So this is going to bring even more flooding because it's going to be training these storms over and over in your area. Now, just until Thursday, so far, we're getting some good snowfall for the higher elevations of Oregon, for Idaho, for western Wyoming. Also going some in Montana, some for Colorado. It's all higher elevations, of course, but this is the first beginning of our next storm moving in. It is bringing winter storm effects with it. Remember, the west side of the U.S. is going to be in winter, while the east side of the U.S. is going to be in spring. And that's why you see the latest updates of the winter storm warning in the pink and the winter weather advisory in the purple. You also got chances of avalanche right here in the higher elevations in the Sierra Nevada. But showing with the Euro, after we go past Thursday on that next storm system, it is going to bring more rainfall, going all the way from the south central towards Michigan, also for the southeast, carrying across the mid-Atlantic again, and bringing more towards the northwest. Showing you got a lot of good flooding coming. Matter of fact, it's been raised up. For today, you also got the slight risk for flash flooding. So be aware of this. You got a slight risk all the way from the North Shore, all the way across towards the West Bank. You got a lot of flooding coming your way. So be careful in the streets, or if you live in a cul-de-sac, be aware of that. You have the marginal. Now for tomorrow, this is going to stretch. You got it still for the south. You still got it for New Orleans going all the way across to the North Shore. But you also got it for Alabama, southern Mississippi, and the Panhandle of Florida going into Georgia. A little bit of South Carolina and Tennessee, a little bit of North Carolina. Now, as you go through Wednesday, this is where it still goes up towards the northeast, bringing y'all chance for your flash flooding. And for Thursday, it's going to come right back down towards the south central, going towards the central plains again. This is where it's growing. And then for Friday, you got it all over again, straight from the central all the way across the southeast. And look at this wide area for flash flooding. You've been having storms growing for a couple of days now, training in the same areas, bringing you this heavier precipitation. Your grass is already going to be waterlogged, so all this heavy rainfall from this next system from Thursday all the way to Friday and Saturday is going to bring more flooding. And snow is going to come in for the Four Corners a little bit, go into Canada really heavy, and come in for the Northwest really heavy. Everyone else is going to see maybe 1 to 2 inches. It's not bringing a whole bunch for everybody, just a quick passing of snow, but all the way to the west where it's still winter, they got a lot of snow still coming, still got feet still coming to the higher elevations. But across the northeast, there's not much coming according to the Euro. The latest trend is still showing for New England. You can see this with the latest GFS. It's still showing for New England. It's not a lot of confidence coming any deeper. Matter of fact, Canadian is seeing that and some of the ensembles. But GFS is taking that system a little bit closer towards Michigan and not going out towards the northeast, as bringing that precipitation on the wraparound, bringing that potential snowfall as it goes through Iowa, Minnesota, and for Wisconsin. Maybe up to a foot. That is not verified. That is not trending. That's just the latest GFS run. The last one had it a little less. So it has grown. We will watch it. Maybe even the UP of Michigan might get hit. Even showing going all the way towards Ontario. Now, when you look at the Canadian, you can see a little bit of both. You see it coming in towards Wisconsin a little bit, hitting the UP, going into Canada. You see it coming here for higher elevations of Colorado and New Mexico as well, and for the Northwest. But look over here for the Northeast. It's showing a chance for the snow to come out towards Northeast. Could meet up with the temperatures and the precipitation and bring you a proper snowstorm. So I know the video is long, guys, but there is so much going on, and I got to really cover it all. Remember, this is Central Time up here on the top left. So you see these storms pass by all evening long, and those really aren't the ones you got to think about. Right when you get around 6 p.m., then it starts growing into this line of storms where it's a little bit stronger as that pushes through. You can see you got some hail cores in some of these as this line goes further and further to the south. This is by 10 o'clock. Remember, you got to keep watching it as it goes further towards the south. And see if it pops up any for southern Illinois. It does. You even get some chances for some hail cores to pass through as you go through the early morning hours, as everyone's just getting the regular storms up here. These are not going to be any tornadic or anything. Right down here is where you got your dew points. Those are just going to be regular thunderstorms. And that pushes through for tomorrow morning. And then maybe getting together and making another line of some hail cores that pass through. So let's go through what you have for tomorrow morning, because a lot of storms coming through the south for this afternoon. As this pops up for Louisiana, for Arkansas, going into Mississippi as well. So as we go into the evening by 5, 6 o'clock, the storms really start pushing to the east. And what you got to watch for in the south is after these push to the east is going to brew up more from the tail. So as you go by midnight, these storms are starting to push to the east. I don't see a lot of hail cores, but now the tail is hanging around. And for tomorrow, you're going to see these little storms pop up for Texas, for Louisiana, as that continues to push to the east. And that's where those other ones are coming in from overnight, early morning hours, starts brewing up again for Arkansas and meets up with these storms for tomorrow as that swings through. Then for tomorrow, you got all this congealing together to a big system. So first, let's look at Florida, because this is going to bring storms across Florida for today. By this afternoon, it is going to start training across Alabama, across Georgia. Northern Florida is the way it's looking, and central Florida. And as you go through tonight, maybe another hit. But for tomorrow, look at this. This is all getting together to one stronger system for Georgia, for South Carolina, for North Carolina. This is that area that could bring some of that severe weather. Now, I did not forget about y'all on the West Coast. I do care about y'all over there. And you do see that your storms do start piling in for this afternoon for Southern Oregon, for Northern California, and that will go all night into the early morning hours. Big storms, especially for Northern California. A lot of training on those storms. You might get some flooding on that as well that you definitely got to watch out for. I think there will be an alert out for that. Thank you so much for your time, everybody. I hope this has helped someone out there. If it has, please share this information to others. Thank you again for your help. Before y'all go today, Zechariah 12, 1 through 4. The burden of the word of the Lord for Israel, saith the Lord, which stretcheth forth the heavens, and layeth the foundation of the earth, and formeth the spirit of man within him. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about, when they shall be in the siege both against Judah and against Jerusalem. And in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. In that day, saith the Lord, I will smite every horse with astonishment, and his rider with madness. And I will open mine eyes upon the house of Judah, and I will smite every horse of the people with blindness. Amen. Have a great day, everybody. I appreciate your time. That message is for someone that is out there looking for it. I was told to give it. Hope you have a very blessed day today. All glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I hope you get to know him. I hope you take time and get to know him in your closet, anywhere in private. Get to know him before it's too late. I wish the best for every single one of y'all. And remember, all glory goes to God, now and forever. And ever and ever and ever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everybody. Watch this storm. It is strengthening. I think more strength is yet to come.